Welcome back, Dungeoneers. It's Sunday afternoon, and that can only mean one thing. It's time to play Dungeons and Dragons. You're watching Dice and Dungeons, and I'm here at the table with...
I'm David Wong. I play Nines, a Tabaxi Bard, named after how many shirts I own.
Tabaxi shirts?
No, just shirts.
I'm Nicole Bates. I play Sorian Sewell, the Changeling Druid, also named after the number of shirts she owns.
Wait.
I'm Greg.
That's a
I'm
lot.
playing Ulseth Grolf. I'm a Furbog fighter in the game, and apparently that has something to do with the number of shirts I own.
That's weird.
Mm-hmm.
I'm Alexis Bates, your trusty dungeon mistress. And if anyone knows where to buy shirts, it's me. And let me tell you where to buy shirts. It's a little store over in Vinton, Iowa. It's called Geekified. They don't really sell shirts.
They might have some geek-related shirts.
They might have a couple there, but that's not really their business. So if you're looking for shirts, don't go to Geekified. But if you're looking for tabletop gaming supplies, then you should definitely go to Geekified.
Yeah, what if I want a Magic the Gathering card?
They'll have that.
What if I want to wear a Magic the Gathering card?
Well,
They won't stop you.
They'll have the card, and they might let you borrow some tape.
What if I want to buy something, but I want to yell how much I want to spend at someone who would take my money?
They'll probably humor you, yeah.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Nice.
What if I want to do it online?
Yell online?
Yeah.
I mean, they can...
A lot of people yell online.
I mean, you can definitely yell online, and Geekified even has, a Facebook page and a Discord server where you can go yell things at them, I guess. Just be nice.
Yeah.
Nice, but
Yeah.
all caps.
Yeah.
That's the name of my album.
And, and if you're wondering where you can find Geekified, Geekified is in a lovely city, like I said, of Vinton, Iowa, which is
In Iowa.
famously in Iowa.
Wow. I've heard
And-
so much about it.
We're still waiting on you to come pick up your award, Vinton. Send a representative. We have your
No,
award.
it's
The whole town can
or
come?
nothing.
When was that the rule? The whole town? They're never going to get the whole town up here.
Rules change.
I want people, I want pets, I want buildings, I want all of them here to get their award.
Then leave?
I want at least
go-
2 miles of the crust of the earth as well.
All about 5,000 of the Vintonians?
I think
Is that-
Vintonians.
Vintonians.
I would go with Vintonians if I
Not
was to-
Vintonites.
No, I would go to war with the
Vintonians.
Vintonites.
I mean, come on. Vintonian sounds pretty cool.
That sounds pretty
Vintonians.
good, yeah.
Yeah.
Vintonians has the sound of a comic book alien species.
You missed out, Geekified. You
Or-
could have said, I'll just sell
It's one of those,
Vintonians.
periods of history that
Oh, yeah,
you
yeah.
sound really fancy when you say it, but you actually have no idea when it
The
happened.
Vintonian culture of the Upper Basin.
And if you want to be in an upper basin,
Check out our Patreon at patreon.com/Dyson Dungeons. I don't think there's anything basin related about our Patreon,
There is
but there
now.
are a variety of tiers and circles apparently. Let's see.
It's a basin. That's a,
it's a
Oh,
basin.
he was doing
Okay.
basoning.
yeah.
Hand basin.
so there's a variety of tiers with a lot of rewards and things, and I've completely lost track, but check it out at patreon.com/Dyson Dungeons.
Wow, I love losing track of stuff. Sign me up.
Thank you. And with that, Dungeoneers, let's roll.
Last week on Dice and Dungeons, Midnight Brunch observed the Tashir'anun landing in the city of Tabaxavoy. Obviously, this caused some concern. So they went down to the docklands, where they watched their activities as surreptitiously as possible. As some of the Tashir'anun left the warehouse where they began setting up operations, Midnight Brunch had Soria follow them around town. She didn't observe too many things of interest happening until the group of 4 Tashir'anun entered an unassuming home in Tabaxavoy, and she did not observe them leaving. She returned to the rest of Midnight Brunch and informed them of her discoveries. The group soon reconvened at that house and began to investigate its contents more closely. We rejoined them outside as Holwyn attempts to pick the lock.
So that's why I saw 3 enter and not 4, like the narrator said.
Right, because one stood outside watching.
Exactly. We have to be very pedantic about it.
Yes. That one was in an alley.
Oh, and how's the lock coming? I was just entertaining him while you were working.
We're passing the time.
It's fine.
The lock is fine.
Great, the DM's gonna kill us now.
Is it unlocked?
Maybe we should check for traps.
No, let Holwyn go in.
This door didn't feel trapped before, but now that you say it, this whole place feels super trapped now. With a whole bunch of, like, specific traps related to your characters that might cause grisly death or something.
Ooh, I can turn into a grizzly.
You can.
And I can die.
Yeah. We
We
got it
have
covered.
2 out of the 2 already.
Yeah, what are you gonna do?
I usually just get mostly dead.
Oh, well, I'll knock.
Why would you not? We're sneaking in.
What do you mean? It's
We're
polite.
in
I'll
disguise.
knock, I'll knock quietly.
Don't knock at all.
Holwyn.
Can I grab Zoria's
Holwyn,
arm?
by the way, still has not opened the door yet.
Yeah, I know,
Is it
because we have to
unlocked?
knock
Or
first.
announced whether they succeeded or failed with picking the
I'm
lock.
just getting it ready.
Just so you know.
How's the lock coming? Is the door available for opening?
Yeah, I got it. It's fine.
Are you, like, upset at
No.
me?
No, everything's fine. Cut.
Oh, since you are there by the door, why do you not
Go
go
in.
in?
Go ahead.
Okay, I go in.
You go first. It's
I
not
walk in.
trapped. Don't worry.
Okay, I
What
walk
the weird
in.
thing
I
to
trust you.
say as I walk in?
I literally trust you with my life, Holwyn. I run in as fast as I can.
I follow at a respectful distance.
I know the interior. I've been inside.
Yeah, but do you know it with all the new traps inside of it?
No. I trust Holwyn.
To trip the traps.
Okay, I walk in as well.
I follow.
Are we all inside?
I follow in, yeah.
You're all inside.
Is there anyone in here with us?
Does the door close behind you?
I forget off the top of my head, were you entering through the front or the back?
Front.
Front.
I don't think we were aware that.
It'd be
Yeah, I would
weird
look
if
at that.
someone. It would be suspicious if you were in an alley and you see some guy picking a lock in the back door.
Yeah.
If they're picking the lock in the front door, it's like they probably just lost their keys.
Yeah.
So
That's
why would they be trying to break into the front?
Yeah.
If they didn't own the
Clearly,
property?
we just asked the locksmith to come.
Let's close the door
Yeah.
behind us.
Yeah.
Hillman looks like a locksmith.
I close the door behind us.
Okay.
And we lock it.
Do we have a pin for Hillman that says professional locksmith?
We should get one.
Yeah, we should get one.
Like a locksmith uniform.
Yeah.
Like a big foam key hat.
That's not a spring, so it goes.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, why haven't I seen that in a D&D campaign before?
Giant key hat.
No, someone makes some sort of business or something of being a locksmith, right? as a cover for being a thief.
That's pretty good.
Like, what? That seems like
I
a
think
D&D
it's
sort of
because in
prompt, right?
D&D, people tend to break in claiming they're night vets.
That is the most common thing to do.
And also, if you got good at being a locksmith, you can get a nice, steady career at Security Inc.
Yeah, exactly.
where
Good.
nothing weird happens.
Ever.
Ever.
Especially not people coming in asking if they have sales receipts from more than 50 years ago of a specific type of lock.
Yeah.
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 But as someone who worked in customer service, that happens.
So, what do we see
What do
inside?
we- yes.
You enter a fairly modest-sized living room. Directly ahead of you, a set of stairs going up.
Are they
Is there
nailed down?
Is there furniture in the living room?
Yes, there's furniture in the living room.
Is it comfortable?
Are you going to take a nap, Olsef?
You're not sure. You haven't sat in it.
It might be trapped.
I sit in the most comfortable looking chair.
Why is Olsef acting like nines?
Somebody has to.
Before you do that, might you want me to describe the rest of the room?
Are you going to
look
sit
at it
down and
from the
have
chair.
coffee with the chair dude who's just like, who are you guys?
Please describe the monster in the room with us before Elsa sits down.
Please tell me this is a library and there's a dragon in here.
You may.
I rest comfortably while you describe the room.
Just taking the whole room in. Just like, I can't experience a room until I sit down in the most comfortable chair.
Elsa.
Okay. Sure. The living room is like a time capsule. Not that Soria or Ulseth would necessarily understand that, not having lived in the city of Tabaxavoy. Nines, you, however, can quickly look around and see furniture styles and the upholstery. It looks anywhere from 40 to 60 years old. The couch and the love seat and the chairs across from them are all upholstered in the same matching, fairly rough fabric. Patterned with images of flowers over a white background. It's not at all fashionable by today's standards. The coffee table has clear signs of wear on it. Scratches crisscrossed all along the top and even a water stain or two. The walls of the room are covered with a thick wallpaper. A pattern of pastel yellow and pale red bars running at varying widths all around. It gives the room an almost uneasy feel. On those same walls there are pictures of a family, all of them Tabaxi, but small by Tabaxi standards. In the pictures there are two parents, older, father and mother, and two young children. Over everything in this room, there's a fairly thick layer of dust that conveys the infrequency of cleanings. The floor is made of some sort of common desert wood. You aren't sure what it is, but most of the homes in the area are furnished with the same sort of wood on the floors, or sometimes the walls. Your furnitures are often made of it. It's clearly been well worn. Many, many years of pacing have left clear trails on it. You can tell that there was once a rug underneath this furniture, because there's a visible outline left from the sun-bleached difference. The front door is in the corner of this room behind you now. Kitty corner to it is a hallway. Looking down, you can see it leads into a dimly lit kitchen And along that hallway, there is one door on the left. Next to the front door is a simple set of hooks that you would hang a hat or a coat on. It's the room that you're currently in.
How's the chair?
It's very comfortable, thank you.
Oh, good.
You sink. It's one of the,
Grab onto you're
it's
falling.
one of those.
Oh, he's
kinds
already
of
lost. Let's move on.
So, you said there was stairs up, a hallway, and a door.
There's a door in the hallway that leads towards the kitchen.
Okay.
Oh, we go there.
There's no food in there.
We don't know that.
Yeah, I do. I came through
Did you
here.
look into every cabinet?
Yeah, of course I
There
did.
could be like canned peaches in there.
There's no canned peaches.
There could be fresh peaches in there.
Could be. Before we move from this room, I want to take a closer look at the pictures.
Yeah, look behind them to see if there's names.
Yeah. I'll tear them off the wall and
They're just hanging.
I'll pick them up off the wall and look behind.
Just like
the
behind them, through the wall. Just
Shove my head. And,
yeah, just
There are two names with ages, indicating that these must be the children. The first name, which Nines could tell you was a traditional Tabaxi male name, was Drovan.
age.
Next to the youngest looking pictures, there's an age of 4 next to Drovan. There's another name of Juliana. This is a girl's name. Age is listed at 2.
is it like a popular girl's name but just spelled differently?
No. It's a traditional spelling. Nines, you would know that having 2 children at different ages and only 2 children is a bit odd.
Oh, because you're like litters.
Yeah.
I mean, a family the size of yours is a bit on the large side,
I've
But-
noticed.
but it's not out of the ordinary.
So are these like
Isn't your brother
paintings
older than you?
or photographs?
They're photos, you said, right?
They're photographs, yeah.
Do any of these tabaxi look familiar at all, given that I have perfect recollection of everyone I've ever seen, apparently? Something I'm going to continue to lean into.
No.
Is it like a
And
video game where you can have like 100 people you memorize and then you just completely forget, like after you go over that?
Yeah, whoever you are.
And I do want to be clear about something. Because you are looking at photos that are just based on the clothes. Nines could tell you this must be from a couple decades back now, at least 3 or 4 decades back. Since you're looking at photos some time ago, you don't have the ability to magically extrapolate what they grow into.
I can't.
So even if you'd seen them in the future, you wouldn't necessarily recognize them in the past
But there's no.
or recognize someone that you see now because you saw an image of them from the past.
No distinctive markings on any the parents or the kids.
No, they look to be a
Standard.
happy, if surprisingly small, Tabaxi family.
And you said that the people, the tabaxi, actually look smaller than they should as well.
No, just the family. Just the family is.
Small in number, not small in size.
Yes, correct.
Yeah, small family tree. Like a family branch.
A typical family will have a litter of anywhere from 6 to 11 children. And most families in Tabaxavoy usually only have 1 litter or 2, if your family kind of has a history of small litters.
Is there?
But having a litter of 1 is very unusual.
Is there anything around here that looks like it might have the family name on it? Since the Tashir'anun were in here, this obviously is a family of interest.
What kind of things might you look for?
Oh, are there books on a shelf or
Yeah, like
anything?
family albums.
Family
Someone might
albums,
have said
something
this-
like a family
this-
tree at the front of a book.
This book belongs to kind of.
9s, why don't you roll an investigation check
Because I have bad investigation.
with advantage?
Oh.
And guidance.
Being from here and only being a little, well, your parents would have grown up with the sort of stuff that it seems to match up, that the kids in this picture would have been kids about the same time that your parents would have been kids. So you kind of know what was going on.
What was
And
the
you,
fashion of the
you have
time?
some things that you might look for.
This kid has an onion on his belt.
Oh, wow. Investigation 22.
Not bad.
I can't really get much better than that.
It takes you a little bit sorting through a couple of small bookshelves, some drawers, and a sideboard. But you do eventually find a book that seems to be sort of a family Bible, would be the closest thing that we could describe to it. It was a common practice that's still done, but is less common these days, of a family journal. In it, you do eventually find what you believe to be the last name, Mironia.
M-I-R.
Onja. Mironia.
Should I take one of these family pictures for ID purposes later? If we need it?
Sure, why not?
Okay.
Do you think it's just taboo not to not take everything you find in
No
some
one
stranger's
lives
house?
here. This place has been empty
We're
for
RPG
decades.
heroes. That's just what we do.
Why aren't you breaking that pot for gems then?
There's no money in here.
Does that name ring a bell?
Yeah. Have you heard of this family, Nines?
Mironia is...
Is it the sniff of
No, it's kind of like, Johnson. It's not a name that's just everywhere. It's not a name you've heard 100 times, but it's not uncommon to meet someone with the last name of Johnson. It's similar to that. It's not an uncommon name, but it's not exactly Smith.
Well, I specifically use the word Johnson to describe it to my allies.
Oh, I've never heard of that name either.
Well, why not?
Everyone in my clan's last name is Ansul.
Why do you have the same last name?
It's a clan name.
Why don't you get more clans in there?
Well, there are other clans. But
Why don't you hang
we're
out?
the Sulani clan.
So if I change clans, do I change my last name?
I mean, I guess, yeah.
Mm-hmm. Maybe.
If you married another clan and moved in with them. But anyway, you wanted to go to the kitchen?
Well,
Yeah,
let's go to
sure.
The kitchen, since we're down here, there doesn't seem to be anything else.
And while we're moving about this house, I'm specifically going to be looking on the floor for footprints in the dust where the Tashir'anun might have gone.
That's easy. You can see the footprints clear as day.
Oh.
There's a thick layer of dust over everything.
Oh, we just follow the footprints then.
The footprints go upstairs.
Oh. Well, we checked the kitchen first then for
Yeah, we'll hear them
peaches.
if they come downstairs. We checked the kitchen for peaches.
Um,
Should I roll for that?
do you Are you only looking for
No, I'll
peaches,
check the whole
or
kit.
Well,
The
we'll
kitchen
check
for
for
things
other
in general.
things, but we're looking for peaches.
Well, Nines is looking for peaches.
I don't know what you're looking for.
I'm looking for any clues of
What the Tashir'anun?
that Tashir'anun might have left something there. They might have, they might be hiding things.
They might be hiding, retrieving,
Stashing peaches.
stashing,
stashing.
any of that. Yeah.
It could be anything.
So we'll
just
check
kind
the
of, we're
kitchen.
just checking out the kitchen because kitchen's got cupboards, containers, bread boxes, all sorts of things where things could be hidden.
Nines? When you enter the kitchen, you recognize, again, this is from an era that is long gone. The sort of appliances you see around you, the stove, the sink, they don't make them this way anymore. They're old. They are cumbersome, heavy, kind of clunky things. There's less countertop space than you might expect. The cupboards are bare of all food, only containing plates, bowls, some dishes of various serving sizes. None of this is particularly noteworthy.
Are they fancy, standard, cheap? The dishes and stuff.
More than anything else, you find that they're kind of a mishmash. There seem to be a couple of pairs of different things, maybe 3 of one type of plate. You don't see much consistency. No one had ever, it seems, purchased a set of them and kept them together.
Is there any like fervent glass? Kind of like how there's uranium glass.
Oh, from the old.
Yeah.
No, but that is sort of kind of an idea. Like that might have actually been a thing that people had.
We'll check other We'll check the
Antique shops.
Yeah, antique shops.
For all of the ear watchers out there, if you want to learn a short but kind of interesting thing about our history with the element uranium, look up uranium glass. You can still find it, and despite what you might think, it's actually perfectly safe to use.
Or uranium fiestaware.
That's not perfectly safe to use.
Because that's in pink.
Yeah, the uranium glass, that's fine. The uranium fiestaware,
Well, that's
not fine.
And don't look up radium girls.
Definitely don't look up that unless you want to learn a very true and very
Sad.
horrifying history of American wartime efforts during World War One.
So, is the kitchen connect anywhere? Or what else is on this first floor?
Is there any peaches? That's what we came in for.
You'll have to
find-
use your knife.
You find no foodstuffs.
I generate
In
a
the
single
kitchen.
peach.
You do that.
I generate 2 peaches because I said we're looking for peaches. So I generate 2 peaches.
You do that.
Put them on there.
Oh, we're leaving him.
You're just going to leave them here?
I mean, you can eat them. Do you want peaches, Olsef?
Oh, they're dusty now.
You can blow it off. Eat the other side.
So, what
So
else
is there
was on
anything
this
else
floor?
On the far back wall of this room, there's a door that clearly leads out the back of the building.
Is it locked?
As you enter the kitchen, on your left side, against the wall, there is one other door. A quick investigation reveals that to be a pantry and a small icebox.
I imagine those are empty.
They are
I know.
indeed both empty.
I was
Is
gonna
it-
say, I hope it's empty. The icebox is
It's
empty.
yeah.
Is it a cool vintage icebox as opposed to like an old crappy antique icebox? Does it have a retro vibe to it?
You can't really say for sure, but if you like the look of it, I mean, you can just decide if you like the look.
We do like it. We all
It's-
collectively like it, right?
I don't want to carry it.
We have a bag.
I don't want to
I
carry
won't fit in my bag.
We have a
Okay.
tent. We can pitch a tent in here.
We will buy you an icebox.
when the Tashir'anun leave and we're safe and sound,
And we
you can-
remember.
and remember, you can come back and get the icebox.
Fine. We leave the ice box.
Your brothers can come with a trolley or something.
It's probably built
It's a
in.
skateboard.
They'll
have
come
things
with a couple
wheels.
skateboards and roll it out on them.
Yeah, that would work.
Were there anything else on this floor? Any other rooms? I'm trying to
Oh
think
well,
of
there was one door between
the kitchen
and the
and
living
the
room.
living room. All right,
In the
well,
hallway.
Yes.
Well, let's go through that.
let's
door.
listen to that door. See if we can hear anyone on the other side.
You hear nothing on the other side.
All
Is
right,
it unlocked?
I'll
Yeah,
knock
it's unlocked.
and open it.
It's a bathroom.
Okay. I'm gonna
is
use the
it flush?
bathroom.
Yeah, how clean is it?
Well,
If the Tashir'anun are coming here, it might actually be kind of clean.
the bathroom does seem to have a bit more of disturbance on it. You don't notice a thick layer of dust on the seat of the toilet. Nor is there one in the sink.
All right, get out. I'm using the bathroom.
We all leave.
All right, I'll use the bathroom.
You do that.
I'll wash my hands.
You do that.
Then I'll come back out after knocking.
Wait, why are you knocking to leave?
I'm going into a house.
Well, no, I have to go.
All right, go ahead.
So I go in. Are you leaving?
Yeah, I said I left.
Okay, so I go in, use the bathroom. And leave.
Always go when you have a chance.
Nice, go wash your hands.
And I wash my hands. Is there a towel in here?
There is, actually.
No.
Is it a
I wipe
clean
my
towel?
hands.
The towel looks like it's a little dusty. I mean, it's not dirty.
Are the
but it looks
Tashir'anun not
dusty.
washing their hands? They are a cult.
Okay, well,
Oh, when do you need
Well, if everyone else is doing it.
This is gonna be like 10 or 15 minutes while they undo all those belts.
Do they have to take every single one off?
Well, I gotta wait. I mean, yeah.
Yeah.
You're right. It's about
We play
10
in
or
real
15.
time.
Yeah.
that's right.
So
So, Wolsef, what are you up to?
10 or 15 minutes passes.
This peach is
So
pretty
I'm
good.
wondering,
Is there
though, is there an address on this building?
There is, yeah. It doesn't mean anything to you.
No, but if we write it down, we can go to the registrar of deeds or the equivalent of that and find out if, in fact, a Maranya family had lived here or not. Because
Do you think they just put all their stuff in there?
this might be a made-up family.
Oh, you think it might be a cover?
Yeah.
What
And we
was
could
the
find out
address?
who owned the
Oh,
house
that way
and
we-
how long and, who's paying the taxes on it. I'm assuming there's somebody paying taxes.
You live in a swamp.
Yeah, but he went to a bank once.
This
Not
is
only did I
definitely
go to
one
a
of those
bank,
moments.
I talked to
The teller.
guy behind the counter.
This is definitely one of those moments where
Greg is shining.
Greg is playing and Ulseth is not.
I mean, we have looked up
The-
deed
the-
properties
We
before.
have looked up
That's
properties before.
That's a reasonable assumption
We have-
given your history at
We
this
have
point.
looked up properties before, including the one that we own.
That's
Yes, that's a reasonable
Yeah, we
assumption. that
own it
know
because
what
we
deed-
found a piece of paper that says we own it.
Yeah.
We found it in a cave somewhere.
But then we found out where it was, and we got it registered. 'Cause
so. What's the
title.
address?
I don't have an address or a street,
Just
but
say.
Just say 123 Fake Street.
123 Real Street.
Whoa. You can't fake that.
It's pronounced BS.
Yeah, it runs perpendicular to Fake Street, though.
Oh. All right. So that's everything. Is there look to be a basement?
No.
Okay. All right. They're like on the water or whatever.
Yeah, this really wouldn't surprise you. You know that underneath the buildings of Tabac Savoy is kind of an open
Raised
floodplain area.
sewery. We went through it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. There isn't any sign of a secret trapdoor down to the sewers underneath.
Well, we know that Tashir'anun went up, not down. But
We do, yeah. Well,
So-
let's go up.
Should we sneak up?
Well, since we're down here, I activate my brain helmet
Oh, yeah.
and see if I can detect
Any thoughts?
any just like wandering thoughts. Like, man, it's dusty in here. I hate coming to this dusty house.
Yeah, or, gee, it's fun up here on the second floor.
I love-
Waiting in ambush.
I love doing this secret mission. Here are the details.
No.
Oh, okay.
You pick up thoughts around you, but it's pretty clear they're from
The street.
like
or-
the other. You're you're basically in a townhouse or a row house, whatever you want to call them, because there's different names for it. But you know, there's housing on either side of it, and you're getting thoughts from other people and on either side.
You get a 9 sure looks stupid in that helmet.
I slap Olsef in the back of the head.
Why did you hit me?
I know what you're thinking.
What was I thinking? I was thinking about going up the stairs stealthily.
Is that true?
Yeah, I just said that out loud, Nines. And
I was concentrating.
I used Olseth's voice, though.
Well, it's convincing because you can turn into them, even though you didn't turn into Olsef
I
this
just
time.
changed the vocal cords.
Can you do that?
Yeah, I've done it before.
Yeah, but did the rules say you can do that?
It doesn't say I can't.
I go up the stairs.
When the rules say that you can modify everything about yourself to make an exact duplicate of another humanoid creature that you have seen, I'm just going to allow that, yeah, you can also just change your vocal cords,
It's
because
a,
Yeah, but that's a
you
slippery
can
slope.
change your
because-
appearance and your voice. Is just the first sentence.
Okay, because otherwise I was going to say if you can mix and mash, you can make like some sort of weird chimera of people you've met.
I've done that too.
I stealth up the stairs.
Yeah, I will pass without a trace before we stealth up the stairs.
all right. Then everyone who's going upstairs should roll.
28. We don't have
Olseth, Orogi one.
32.
Oh, you rolled so bad.
I did.
9s.
Oh, I got a. Oh, wow, that's bad.
Yeah, pass without a trace.
22.
And Holwyn got a lot.
Although we didn't detect anyone up there, they might be wearing mind protection like I have.
Is that why you can't read your mind?
Yeah, I have a magic ring.
I thought you just didn't have thoughts. Like Bella.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay. So, what do I see at the top of the stairs?
As you stealthily climb the stairs, you reach the top, and there is a small landing. Straight ahead is a hallway, continues down, ends at a door, with one more door along the way on the right-hand side of this hallway. Also, at the top of the stairs, to your right, there is a hallway with one door on either side. It's rather short and goes to the end of this house. All the doors are closed.
Can we see the footprints? The feet prints?
Yeah, feet prints.
They go in and out of the rooms.
All of them?
Yeah.
Okay.
Maybe they just like checking rooms out.
Well, let's turn right down the little bitty hallway there.
So, yeah, and we know they weren't sure. They either had multiple things to do or they weren't sure what they were, where they were placing or retrieving.
Right.
We could
Or-
save time and just open all the doors at the same time.
All of us spread out. Your helmet did detect no one.
At least no thoughts.
No thoughts. But then make her narrate everything simultaneously.
Yeah, just can you split your voice into 4 different
How about
distinct
we
voices?
go down the small hallway and go on the right door
side.
in this short hall?
The short hall,
Right side.
and go to the right on the right.
Yeah.
Okay. You enter a modest bedroom. You can't be so certain of this, but Nines, you think this is probably the primary bedroom. A medium-sized bed sits squarely in the center of the wall to your left as you enter. The sheets look to have been bright white at some point, but they are now stained with dust and age, looking yellowed in appearance. All the bedding is perfectly made, pulled tight across the mattress. And over everything in here, an even thicker coat of dust lies on top. There's a large rug that lays underneath the bed, mostly plush fibers, save for a few spots where you can imagine repeated placing of feet, the ruts worn in by the daily patterns of the inhabitants. As you look straight ahead, there's a window, covered, much like all the others in this house, but you can have a obscured view of the street below. On your right, in the corner, there's a closet, and 2 night tables on either side of the bed. A couple of dressers, and 1 small rocking chair with a rug underneath it. That's what you find inside this room.
Open the dressers.
There's been footprints going in and out of all the rooms, including this one. So is there, looking at the floor and the furniture and stuff, are there signs of disturbance or movement anywhere?
This room, it looks like they opened it up, stepped in, perhaps looked around for a moment or two, then turned around to the left.
Maybe if you just like stuck around for a few minutes, they would have just came right back out, and we would have determined that they didn't even do anything.
I mean, that's entirely possible, but they had someone on the lookout right here for this building. I mean, it very well could be that they were just, like, stopping in, grabbing some document that was left here or something and left, but...
They're like, our boat's fresh out of dust, so we need to get a lot of dust.
At the dust store.
Yeah, at the dust store. And they're like, oh, the dust store's closed. We have to just go into an abandoned house.
Let's rifle through all the drawers and closets and everything here.
Yeah, we rustle around.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. We're gonna invest. We call it investigating.
Yeah, because there's a skill slot for that.
Yeah.
What are you looking for?
Anything of interest?
Looking for any remnants of Tashi'ranunism or of the Urania family.
Yeah.
Why don't,
We're looking for anything that just would be out of place in a bedroom. Or that would help identify the family that lived here.
Okay. Ulseth, you have the most experience out of anyone here in tracking survival. Why don't you make an investigation check, looking to see if you can find anything that might indicate that Tashir'anun took something or left something or really just disturbed anything in here.
I'm actually
other than the obvious footsteps.
Trained in tracking and survival.
Mm-hmm. You're going to give me guidance.
But Ulseth does seem to be the most suspicious one at this moment of that.
Well, that guidance fell.
Wasn't very good guidance.
Guidance ever get more powerful?
No, but it's a cantrip.
Yeah, but it's just a free D4. But
16.
So that's very powerful from the get-go.
There's not much more to observe than what you can see easily. Someone opened the door, stepped in, looked around for a moment, stepped back out, and closed the door behind them.
Okay. Well,
It doesn't look like they have placed or removed anything in this room. Soria, why don't you make an investigation check, and Nines, you can assist, so you can roll with advantage. And what you're looking for is anything that may give you some clues as to the family, their history, or what they were doing.
It's a nat 20, baby. No, 25.
I don't recognize it until you say baby.
I know.
So you have a 25 investigation check.
Yeah.
Okay. You start looking through one of the nightstands. You easily find a small writing pad, a very dry quill, and inkwell. And it looks like perhaps some letters that whoever slept here was writing. There's clearly teardrops that dot the paper. Too sparse to be a water spill. And too heavy to be some errant mist, like a sneeze.
I can test that I can sneeze on it.
Later.
The letter's handwriting is shaky, uneven. It's hard to make out. You're not entirely sure that the person who was writing this ever meant to send it. It speaks of Yulia being gone. Of the family feeling empty. Drove on, sinking into depression. Many of the points here are vague, and they're impossible to read, handwriting being what it is. And there's no indication that this should reinforce the name Uronia, but the correlation between the names in the letters and the names on the photograph seem to indicate this was family. You sort through the dressers as well. Clothes are still neatly folded away, looking as though someone simply left one day with everything perfect. In the closet, you find a similar state of affairs. Clothes hung, perfectly ironed, crisp. Would be just fine to wear today if you simply shook the dust off it.
Challenge accepted.
Sure.
Pat the dust off. Shake it around. What?
It's now
There's a
very
lot of
dusty.
dust. Oh, it's not sneeze marks.
You put it on. Does it look good on me?
What did you put on?
I don't know, a shirt. They have a shirt on there? Moo-moo?
A shirt. You find a button-down men's shirt. You put it on over your coat.
Yeah.
It doesn't look good. It
But does it fit?
You look like a...
I mean, you're not sure because you're wearing it over all your other clothes.
Now that's the look of an outlaw musician. You don't subscribe to normal clothing rules.
I've got a jacket, and I'll put a shirt over it. And then over
Flipping
that,
all the rules.
I'll probably put an undershirt,
With a vest on top.
and then a vest and a jacket.
I'll
And then a shirt.
tie the vest around my waist.
And
I don't know how that works, but
you can use a bathrobe belt.
When you have that many shirts on,
No one questions you.
no one questions you.
no one talks to me at all.
Nope.
Yeah.
They don't even.
So-
they don't even stay on the same side of the
Is
street.
that the bulk of the things we find in this room?
It can also help me get the shirt off. It goes on
Yeah.
pretty easily, but it's kind of hard to get off.
You made your shirt. Now sleep in it.
I help take the
I
shirt
can't
off.
sleep in this. It's too uncomfortable.
I help Nines get out of the shirt.
Do I have to roll a dexterity check for that?
No.
No, you just spend a moment kind of looking like this.
It's past Halloween, though.
No. No. No.
I don't like this meow.
So let's
Since
go.
since Nines is a badger, wouldn't the shirt be like way too big?
That's not how I remember it.
Yeah. It would be really big.
Sure. Yeah.
We go to the room across the hall.
Maybe this is the 1 hour that I'm normally
I
Nines.
think you get to choose that.
You do.
Oh. Well, then I use it to try the shirt.
Nines would do that.
See, now that's how you cover for your DM mildly screwing up. That's how you do that.
Yeah.
Have inspiration.
I already have inspiration.
Give me inspiration.
Then you have
Double
a
inspiration.
fresh cookie in your character's inventory.
Next time I look, it will not be fresh.
Let's go.
It's a magic cookie. It will be fresh as long as it's in your inventory
Oh, I like
until you
this.
eat it.
Oh.
It's not fresh anymore.
We will
What kind
go
of cookie is it? Like sugar
We go
cookie?
across the hall.
across the hall.
Or is it like just like whatever mood?
White chocolate macadamia nut.
I do like that.
I know,
It's the only time I like white chocolate is acceptable is white chocolate macadamia nuts.
because that's a darn good cookie.
Like we're
And
going.
I'll fight anyone who disagrees.
We're gonna go across the hall to the other room.
Okay. Across the hall, it doesn't take you very long to realize that you've entered the girl's bedroom. There's a overhead window letting some light into this room. Toys are still strewn all about the floor. Dolls, their dresses. Small house for them to live in.
But rent's outrageous.
There's a blanket fort made with a couple of chairs and some old brooms assembled in the corner of the room across from the door.
Are there Tashir'anun footsteps that go into
The fort.
the fort?
No.
Is this another one where it looks like they looked in and walked away?
They opened the door and then immediately closed it. There are no footsteps inside.
Except ours.
Is there like a lingering thought of someone thinking, cool fort, cool fort, cool fort?
Yeah, not that you can detect.
Is there a spell that would let me detect that?
No.
Is it a legendary fort?
No.
So what else is in the room?
The girl's bed, a four-poster with a canopy. All the fabrics, including the carpet in this room, are a faded shade of pink. Everything's rather dimly lit through the overhead window. The sheets on this bed are unmade. Perhaps just as they've been for years on end, as everything you lay your eyes on has the thickest layer of dust yet. There's one stuffed teddy cat that lays haphazardly over a pillow. Likely how it was last thrown onto that spot by its former owner. There's a small closet, a dresser, that you can see without going further in.
If they have teddy cats, does that mean there's a Teddy Roosevelt in this world?
No, it's just in this world.
It was invented by...
The person who invented it made a company called Teddy's, and then they all just took on that moniker. That's what happened.
Okay.
Yeah.
Second question.
Yes.
Because we're in Tabaxavoy.
Yeah.
Do they have, like, human-sized versions of those like hammocks that you can like put up against like a glass surface. Have you ever seen that for like cats? It's like a cat hammock that you can just like put on a wall, on like a glass wall.
No, I've never seen that.
Really? I watched a video of one biting the support, and it goes as well as you expect if you chew on the support of something that only has 2 support points.
I think maybe that's why I haven't seen many of these. Because
Do we
cats are
want to
kind of dumb.
inspect this room deeper, or just leave it as is?
No, I don't want to disturb the room.
Okay.
Well, we might as well check the fort out. There's always good loot in forts.
This isn't that kind of fort.
We don't know that because we haven't explored.
There might be
If you want to explore the
there might be peaches in a different room.
There is. It's in the kitchen. I left 2 of them.
Oh. Why you gotta
Mission
get me one?
accomplished. I look in the fort.
Inside the fort, you find
2 beaches.
a fair number of pillows and a small collection of toys, figurines, other teddies.
In the collection of toys, is there a vintage Testaxi?
No,
Is there a modern Testaxi?
no.
Oh.
Based on the stuff in here, is there a rough estimate on the age? We could
The age of
and
what?
the girl that we could like
Oh.
guess at.
Both of you being unfamiliar with these sort of trappings, you can't make a great guess at it. But nines, you would figure that the little girl who occupied this room would have been somewhere between like 6 to 10.
so quite a while after the picture.
6, 10, or 30. The
I mean,
ages are.
yeah,
parts.
actually, I was gonna dispute you, but no, I've seen enough 30-year-old women who are like, actually, I just want to sleep in a canopy bed with a bunch of teddy bears and have a pillow fort.
Also, for the record, just because Soria didn't have a fancy schmancy 4-poster bed didn't mean she didn't play with like grass dolls made out of like yak fur.
No, but
Are
you
those
do
called
you do
Yankee
have like a
bears?
different cultural background, and knowing like what toys are popular, like with which age groups.
I know what toys are popular with age groups. Mud balls are popular with everyone always.
Especially when you throw it to someone's face.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, exactly.
That's
Thank
all
you.
you-
Thank you for reminding me, and certainly not.
Don't be
Prove my point.
insensitive of changeling culture. That's all.
I won't be insensitive of changeling culture being different from tabaxi culture,
Just because we don't have doors.
Okay.
and
so
don't
we-
have a strong emphasis on mathematics.
Well, I don't personally.
Just because I haven't shut off the brooch of number
Must be
numbing,
slowly breaking down parts of our brain.
and everyone that walks by us.
So
Yeah, numbers aren't that important.
do you want to look at this anymore?
No, I don't like.
Let's
there's
go
gonna
back
be a
out
lot
into the hall and go through the door that's on our right
before the end
before
of
the
the hall.
end of the hall.
Down the long hallway.
Okay.
How there's another fort in this one.
You go back down the hallway.
It'll be the boys' room probably.
The door on your right, before you reach the end of the hall, is a bathroom.
No?
The only bathroom with a tub and a shower. It's, again, fairly modest.
There were
But
2 bathrooms this whole time, and we all just took turns using the same
Remember,
one.
we can take turns using this one.
No one has to go. I don't think, unless like Olsef still has that medical condition.
So does this look like another one of those? Another one of these rooms that the Tashir'anun just kind of
Popped in, checked.
popped in, wiped down the seat.
it looks
the
like
towel.
perhaps they made some use of this room, similar to the bathroom downstairs.
They took the time to make sure that there was all these bathrooms and
Yeah.
took turns.
Is there like a medicine chest kind of thing.
Are you looking for like old?
No, looking for things that the Tashir'anun might have left behind,
Like old drugs.
or whatever.
You look through a couple places. Nine's assisting. Shows that sometimes there's things behind a mirror. Something that you really haven't had a chance to encounter in your travels yet.
I forget that all the time with things that are in my house. I just forget there's shelves behind the mirror.
In the dark place behind the mirror.
Yeah.
Do you? Like, you just forget that you have a medicine cabinet behind
Yeah,
it?
I do actually, because I never use it.
So none of us are aware that there's medicine cabinets.
Okay, well,
No, David
you
Wong, the
two-
player, does.
You two players are aware. Your two characters aren't. His character is.
But forgot.
The player forgets that that's a thing.
So is there anything interesting in the bathroom that the Tashir'anun had left behind?
Oh yeah.
I'll allow it.
They seem like the type that would light matches.
They also seem like the type that might have some unfortunate movements because of odd cult-like dietary restrictions.
Can I use survival check to see how long ago they were in here?
Sure. I pondered that for a moment, and I went, I don't have a reason to object, other than just, this is the strangest survival check I've ever had to allow.
23.
You're pretty sure that it's been about 2 hours, because it was a strangely good survival check.
About 2 hours.
Didn't you check this place about 2 hours ago?
What? What? I want to use all my character's skills.
You,
Do a knowledge religion. I dare you.
I'm not trained in that.
To stay on the good side of the YouTube algorithm gods, you just did a survival check with doo-doo stink.
Yeah. 2 hours, okay.
That's about the time that they'd been here, so you know that,
What you can reasonably surmise from this is that they may have come here for other reasons, but one reason that they popped in was there was an emergency.
So.
Someone needed to.
Go to the little boy's room.
Yeah, the one at the end of the hall.
We're in the little boy's room.
Let's go to the little boy's bedroom.
Okay.
Okay. You turn down the hall and approach the door. You can see all of the footsteps converge here. As you reach towards the door handle, you get some sort of flash in your head as though a memory is appearing before you. It's vague. It's hard to make sense of. It's deeply sorrowful. You can feel the tragedy. You absorb this wave of sadness that washes over you. And then as soon as it starts, it's gone. You're unable to make any sense of what happened, and all of you feel this. Your hand makes contact with the doorknob, and you open the door slowly.
If that happened, I would actually not open the door and rather do a detect magic.
It's one of those things where it happens so fast you don't
it's
have
like
time.
while we're in the action.
Yeah, you don't have time to change your course.
All right.
Way to activate the trap.
You're welcome.
The door slowly opens. And we'll find out what's inside in a minute.
1 minute?
A little
About
long.
15 minutes. Yeah.
This is a slowly opening door.
Very, very slowly opening.
We've all played Resident Evil before.
Yeah.
Does it make a
So,
creaking noise?
does it make a what?
A creaking noise?
Oh, absolutely. Loud, noxious, slow, creaking noise. Needs to needs to be oiled. Takes a long time to open. So just like the Tashir'anun did a couple hours ago, why don't you lovely ear watchers out there go use the bathroom? Because that's what we're going to do. And we'll be back soon. Welcome back, everyone. When we left off, they were outside what they have in the break dubbed the sad room.
Sad door.
Maybe because I described you being very sad as you opened the door.
I just want to specify, it's a sad door. We don't know if the room's sad. We just know the door to the room
There
is
might
sad.
be clowns in there.
There
We'll
could
find
be a
out.
bunch of... Well, that's a 50-50 shot. Clowns are either happy or they're sad. I
Or
don't think there's any
scary.
other emotion a clown can feel.
What about scary?
No. They're usually pretty happy about scaring people.
Let's see what's in this circus, and we
Because-
open the door.
Yep. we
I've
open the door.
seen it, and I've seen Art the Clown, and
I regret mentioning clowns.
it was just Halloween, so we watched it a bunch of...
So everyone who's going to be watching this, I believe this episode is going out sometime in January, which means that we're recording this November 1st. That's when we're recording this, and the Halloween references are perfectly timed.
For when it's being recorded.
Yeah, that's how I live my
yeah.
life.
They
When
just
we're starting at a
celebrated
time.
Halloween too.
Well, hey, isn't the second horror season Valentine's Day?
No, well, it's February in general.
I mean, I'm not joking. Like,
yeah,
don't a
there's
whole bunch of
one.
horror movies get released around Valentine's Day?
That's true.
Yeah, all the horror movies that
Right.
like for
Didn't-
date night, and also that are not good enough to air around October.
Yeah, like the really good horror movies, they come out, towards the end of summer and going into Halloween time. Like those are the really good ones typically, right?
January is like, we need to just shovel this out there and maybe make some money.
So the slowly creaking door opens and reveals.
A bunch of happy clowns.
Oh,
Inside the room, the wall color, it's another wallpaper. A fairly nondescript pattern of blue, white, and gray, sort of diagonal stripes. The window on the far wall is unlike the other rooms, which had drapes pulled over. This has a hodgepodge of cloth tacked over the window, making it very dark by comparison. The light is less dimmed and more poking through little holes in whatever haggard remains of cloth are draped over the opening. The walls themselves have bits of paper, stray bed sheets pinned up all over them. All of them with frantically scribbled handwriting. You take a closer look and you can't understand what any of it says. You can barely make out letters, much less numbers or shapes. You can tell that they represent something to someone, but what? You don't know. There seems to be some sort of flow to the writing, beginning somewhere near the bed, which is basically straight ahead of you as you enter, leaving just enough room for you to get around it. It wraps around the entire room surrounding you in this insane, frantic scribbling. The color of the script changes. Perhaps they ran out of ink or paint. You can't tell. It's musty in here in a way that the rest of the house isn't. Although you wouldn't call what you've been smelling fresh, clean air. What you smell in here is a type of rankness that makes you feel how stale and stifled it is. There's open bottles of liquor and beer. Long since dried out, but you can still smell the faint odors of cheap alcohol mixing. Although Ulseth doesn't have a lot of experience in this, Soria and Nines, you both recognize signs of what's clearly the use of mind-altering substances.
I resent that as a musician.
I'm familiar, yeah.
We both side-eye each other. Like,
dark
we're
tar,
not
skunky ashes, blackened pipes. The carpet in the room was once a shade of a bright, joyful blue. Now it's stained with various spots. You think some of it looks like it could have been blood. Some of it looks like it could have been other things. You feel a little bit sick at the implications of what you think might be staining that rug. The bedding strewn about, not even covering the mattress fully. The sheets as well, stained blood and other fluids, making a mix of upsetting brown over what you think may have once been cream sheets. There's a small shelf. And other than the bed, it's the only object in the room. Like everywhere else you've been in this house, it is covered in a thick layer of dust. Then you see that there's one medium-sized circle, free of dust, where something must have been not very long ago. If you were looking for what the Tashir'anun may have taken, you found where it was. You spend some time looking through what little else is in this room, and there's a closet with just a few hangers still there. As you open the doors to the shallow enclosure, the scribbling continues on the walls inside it, uninterrupted. You don't know what any of this means.
So where is the circle located? Like on the floor?
She's at the shelf.
On the shelf.
There's a small shelf, yes.
Approximately diameter.
About 6 inches in diameter. At least, that's the imprint it left behind.
Like a lava lamp or something.
I can see it's a Tashir'anun drinking a lava lamp. They're pretty cool.
I might need to make a wisdom check, but I'll put on my helm of comprehend languages and
Yeah, I was
attempt
wondering if
to
you had a thing that read language.
attempt to understand. So the wording is,
Yeah, pull that up for me.
you understand the literal meaning of any language you can see or hear signed. You also understand any written language you see, but you must be touching the surface on which the words are written. It takes about 1 minute to read 1 page of text. It does not decode symbols or secret messages. So like ciphers is what I assume that means.
Yeah.
And I am also trained in Arcana, so if it is magic related, it would be from...
Okay.
It's...
So I want to be clear about this because it may come up later. I'm not gonna be coy here and pretend like, oh, I don't know if all the mysterious writing I prescribed on the walls is part of a larger story arc or something.
Could be part of a murder call for all we know.
I'm not gonna be dumb.
Uh-huh.
Of course it's part of a larger story that you're my intent here is that you're going to continue it. And since it may come up later, I don't want to have this dispute down the road or seem inconsistent. You cannot read this using that ability. And again, this is an edge case of how reasonable people could disagree about the interpretation of this spell. But I am falling on the side of, given that description and the qualifiers around it, you can't understand what this says.
Okay. Yeah.
Now,
Can you recognize?
not done, hold on.
Oh,
You also asked about Arcana.
Yes.
I want you to make an Arcana check. And
Sure. Would be inspiring if someone played a slide whistle while I did this. Is that D8 or 10? I always forget.
D8 right now.
Okay. Okay. Arcana. So that's 16, 15, 25.
can you give me a little success noise?
That... Was that my Arcana working?
Yeah, there you go. That's the noise of Arcana working.
got my Arcana working. It just don't work on me.
You are not able to gain much from this. The symbols are things very confused by everything else around it. It's just kind of a mess. But you can determine this is some sort of magical theory stuff mixed in here. You don't know what. You barely can conceive of what they're trying to communicate, but you recognize just enough fragments of other parts of standard arcane language to see those show up, and you're fairly certain this is some sort of unhinged treatise on magical theory, just based on that. Because it appears throughout everything that you can see, there's some little bit of magical symbol and writing throughout this. You don't think it's a spell. You think it might be describing something. That is all you can gain. Now, Ulseth, you were saying something.
Oh yeah. Can you even tell what language it's written in? Is it Tabaxi characters? Can you tell what kind of language it is?
Not particularly. You think it's probably written in common because you recognize Glendrang in this world. You might recognize a few characters from that, but it would be like reading. I'm going to try to get this across without trying to give away like what's here. So don't read into this. I'm just trying to get a visual across to everyone. So the script that you're seeing would be like, imagine writing the word quantum mechanics, that 2 words, quantum mechanics, and you start writing that, in the first 2 letters you're fairly certain are English, and then maybe the next 2 letters are in like Ukrainian, and then like Greek, then French, and you're transposing Like, you can tell it's all written as though it was written in English, but
It's like a weird hodgepodge.
yeah. Perhaps a better example would be how if we remove the Cyrillic examples I pulled out, and we're all using the same script with a couple of additions between things like English, German, French, Spanish, because there are accented letters or special letters like the set in German. And an N looks like an N whether you're writing in German or English. You don't even know like what words are being written. You just see characters, sort of. And now imagine that those same letters are written by someone who is like on a mix of multiple mind-altering substances, and I'm going to not be specific, and I'll just say caffeine-y things, because YouTube.
If I look around, is it hard for me to find any tabaxi fur in here?
No.
No. There's been straight tabaxi fur throughout the house.
Is there any that matches the color of the fur of the boy from the pictures we saw?
Yes, but it's not necessarily saying anything, because tabaxi coats often have many shades of colors that actually
I'll
make
look
up
in,
the
like,
larger comp.
I'm gonna be looking in like the bed here.
I mean, you find some hairs. Where are you trying to go with this?
If we end up scrying this Droven guy,
Yeah.
whose room this is undoubtedly,
We expect it to be.
I can use his fur to assist in the scrying.
Okay. You find some hairs. It is really hard to say
100%.
with tabaxi if you find some tabaxi fur, which tabaxi that came from.
Just stuff a bottle full of fur.
Yeah.
Some of it's probably his.
Hell, why did you pull my hair out?
You got it in my way.
No, I didn't. You walked over to me.
Do you know anything in... Okay, so... I was gonna say, do you know anything that's 6 inches in diameter and round? The gong.
It's actually a lot bigger than this.
But it could be a small gong.
Yeah, you could have a small
Alright.
gong, little finger gong.
So,
So this shelf, is it like two shelves with just a little bit of space between them, or is it a shelf that's open up on top?
It's a wall shelf.
Trying to decide
yeah,
if you're,
yeah. No,
are you
I-
looking for something that has to be
Yeah, you're
small,
looking for
or can it
like
be-
some hints on height.
yeah.
So think of this, kind of classic. You might put a little shelf up in your kid's room to put some trophies on or something, right? It's a single shelf, nothing above it.
I mean, there's a ceiling eventually.
Yeah, but it's a say about
feet? Yeah.
about 6 foot high.
yeah.
Is there
So,
anything else
you know.
on the shelf, or does it look like anything else was moved from the shelf?
There's nothing left on the shelf at this point. You can probably make an educated guess that objects on this shelf have slowly been removed over the years.
Because there's different thicknesses of dust.
Yeah. What those other objects are gets a lot harder to determine as time passes. It doesn't look like they're particular. I mean, the shelf is only, 8 inches deep or so. It's not a very deep shelf.
How many family photos did we see downstairs?
Too.
Just 2?
Well, I only described 2, but there are about, 8, 10, somewhere in that range.
Well, while we were... Can we look at it now that we know what the room looks like? See if there's any photos taken in that room?
Yeah, let's see that. Or if there's any of the kids being older.
There are definitely a couple pictures. The oldest picture of them that shows him at the most mature. Okay? The most recent picture of them shows the young boy. Doesn't have an age written on this one, but you can make a, reasonable guess that probably 13-ish. Very young teen, maybe preteen, but around that age. And then the girl a little younger than that. You already know their age difference is 4 years.
So I'm thinking back to a certain legend lore, and there was a tabaxi hanging out with Lanfiran. Is there any resemblance between this 13-ish boy and the one that we saw in the vision?
Coloration markings, that sort of thing.
Okay, so, you're trying to recall something. Soria can perfectly turn into that.
It's me, guy in the legend lore. I didn't hear his voice.
So you're just making up a tabaxi voice. I can't do that.
When you look at the picture and you look at this, there are a few things that look pretty similar, but also a few things that look different. There's some white markings in the older version that occur around the face, head. They're very streaky.
I'm not understanding. The streaky things are showing up in
The older version.
In the fur.
Yeah.
So like almost like shock of white hair. Kind
It
of.
varies. Imagine shock of white hair, but
When you mean
applied to
older
cat
version,
complexion.
You mean the one with Lanfiran?
The one I am, me.
Okay, not the version.
The Soria
picture.
one.
Not
Yes.
version.
The Soria one.
Yeah. So I got gray as I got older.
It's definitely not gray. It's white.
Yeah. So
Just to
it's
be
like,
clear.
Sort of like, doesn't that happen to people who go through like really traumatic things sometimes?
Actually, yeah.
Maybe not tabaxi though.
We don't know, but that does happen. Where
Most tabaxis are too relaxed
any-
to ever have a problem.
Let's
If anyone's
traumatize
trying
science and see
to
what happens.
kind of imagine this,
Jean Grey. Not Jean Grey, Rogue.
Rogue in the original, what was that, 98 X-Men movie?
Yeah.
Yeah, the very first X-Men movie, Rogue has a shock of white hair as part of her character in that. That's a pretty good thing that you can look up. But, people do this both for aesthetic reasons. Some people just like having a big shock of white hair. Other people have this as a part of just how their hair grows or a genetic condition. There's lots of reasons why this might happen, but that's a very easily searchable and findable visual example if you want to find something.
How does the tabaxi from the legend lore compare to the tabaxi we saw way back in Iron Vale?
hanging out with the forge.
Oh, that's the same.
It's the same tabaxi. Okay.
Yeah. If there's any confusion or question about that, let there be none.
Just making.
You would know that is, in fact, the same tabaxi.
Who's hanging out with forges even as they change.
So. Alright, so, working theory. Tabaxi family who lives here. Didn't like peaches. Don't keep them in stock. Anyway, Tabaxi family's living here.
Litters.
Small family.
Maybe they made the babies fight to the death, so they only pick like the top one.
There's no sign of that.
Okay.
We can clean up after it.
No. So
Daughter dies in some sort of accident or something.
Father becomes thoroughly distraught. Mother disappears.
Oh.
No,
she's making a thing to hit you.
No.
Oh, Mom, stop it!
No.
You shouldn't even be here!
You're a bad cat. So, daughter/younger sister dies from something or other. Illness, accident.
Yeah, something or other's the #1 killer in Tabaxavoid.
Is that what it's on most death certificates? Something or other.
We don't have a good
Just like
coroner.
an axe in their back. So
Well, that's a something. We don't know about the other.
so family gets all messed up from having family member die.
Right.
Son gets into tries to figure out way to bring sister back with magic, maybe?
Maybe there's some sort of interesting.
It seems
magic
like
stuff.
some sort of magic, maybe necromancy, maybe. Well, we don't really have any idea what kind of magic at this point.
No, but then there's some chance that somehow or other he ends up connecting with the Tashir'anun.
Well, he
Potentially.
seems like he could use some structure in his life.
Yeah, but we don't know how that connection could be made. But
So are you
that
suggesting that?
the Tashir'anun coming back for something in his room would mean, I mean, if it was just some random kid getting into drugs and weirding things on
Right.
the walls, why would the Tashir'anun care?
Which implies that he is able to order the Tashir'anun to come retrieve things for him.
Oh, yeah, or he told them about something that piqued their interest and they wanted to retrieve it.
Yeah.
So it's either they're doing it for him or they're doing it in spite of him. We don't know that relationship.
Not yet.
Although he's hanging out with the Forge.
Ah, Hilwin, when did you get here?
Hey, Holwyn, did you use the bathroom just now?
Oh, yeah.
No, good. Are you relieved?
I get a little rumbly tumbly, apparently.
You should wear less belts.
probably
It
that.
took you a while.
It's probably
Yeah, sorry.
all the dust, can get in and trigger allergies. And
Yeah, and then you get the drainage, and then it kind of upsets your GI tract, and
Yeah,
then you're
yeah.
like, ooh, yeah.
I hope you're feeling
You were
better.
gonna say something then?
So, your idea is something tragic happened to the daughter,
Yeah.
and that, like, it kind of ruined the family and drove her brother nuts?
I mean, yeah. At least drove him into very passionate magic research.
And then somehow is connected to the Tashir'anun. Maybe is the one that...
It seems pretty likely he's the one we saw.
Okay,
So this,
but why is the house like this?
well, because,
He preserved it.
Yeah, it's a house. You can't just live in another house that you don't own.
the family got distraught. The mother disappeared.
Who knows?
somehow. We don't know.
Well, we
The
don't know
father
what
got
happened
really
with the
sick.
parents. It was 40 years ago. They're probably just dead.
But the house was just abandoned. That's why I was thinking if we could get some sort of history of the house.
It seems less abandoned and more preserved.
Well,
Especially since the Tashir'anun were respecting the room, like the daughter's room.
well, they respected all the rooms except for the bathrooms in this room.
Yeah. Fair.
Yeah.
Well, it seems like they were specific.
Soria knows they did not respect the bathroom.
I checked. But
Every
if
2 hours, every 2 hours on the hour.
So that implies to me that they were told to come here and get this thing.
They knew what they were looking for.
Because-
They weren't just ramshackling, searching.
They would have just, a regular Tashir'anun going through the house would have just torn through all the furniture.
Well, yeah, I mean,
If
but they
they-
knew what they were looking for and where to find it.
Yeah,
They didn't know which room, but they knew that if they found the right room, it would be right there.
yeah.
Yeah.
Which implies to me that they were ordered to get it by either the Tabaxi or some other.
Yeah, somebody told them what to get and where it would be located.
Where it would be.
So, I mean, who would know where it was and what it was would have been the Tabaxi.
Yeah, exactly.
Or someone who was informed by the Tabaxi.
Yeah. So one thing we're going to do while we're up here is detect magic. I use my wand.
Okay. You do detect magic.
Well,
What kind of magic?
You don't recognize this magic.
There's only so many types of magic.
That's
though.
not one of the 8 schools.
No.
Is it like some sort of vocational thing?
The Greater Tabaxi School of Vocational Magic.
so we've been encountering other magics from all these. Remember, these people coming in from the other planes.
The call?
Well, there's like 4 calls.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Is there any kind of inkling of recognition of any connection to any of the magic you encountered with these extra planers? We met people.
Well,
I
from
mean,
2 of
you
them.
have actually spent a somewhat hilarious amount of time staring at writing that hurts you,
Yeah, what kind of school is that?
and it doesn't represent.
I think you can detect it through the book, right?
And it doesn't.
I have a bunch of tablets too.
Have we ever detected magic on them? I think we did, and
Yeah.
just
Oh,
nothing
yeah.
comes up.
It isn't magic at all.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's not a magic.
I pull out my Gollum book. Hey, doll.
Dole takes a second, and you hear some shuffling on the other end.
Do we hear a flush?
Came 2, so sure.
Don't disrespect that bathroom.
Wasn't number 1, definitely number 2. So
I mean, when the die comes up to on a roll, do we hear a flush? Sure, yeah, you hear a flush.
Hey, doll.
Sorry. Yes, sorry.
You can talk on the toilet. It's fine. I don't care.
did you do it all the time in your village?
We didn't have toilets. We didn't have porcelain.
In the corner of the swamp. I don't know how you did things in the swamp.
Outhouse.
That is a toilet. So you,
It's a glorified hole.
yeah, it's a hole with
Anyway.
walls around
Hey,
it.
doll. How's it going?
It's fine. Sorry. What? Why are you talking about bathrooms?
Oh, we're in a house and there's a bathroom in it. But,
2. There are
Did
2
you sense that I was on the toilet?
I know everything you do.
I have a hard time believing that.
That's
but
true. I don't.
You didn't roll an insight check for that one.
We are looking at some sort of magic that's not one of the 8 schools. Do you have any suggestions on what it might be?
There are historically quite a few people that create their own magical, I'll call them toolkits. They may not be fully fledged, fully researched schools of magic. They may draw on some sort of combination of powers. It's not entirely uncommon. I hope that you're not interacting with it directly. Usually, people who engage in this sort of spellcraft are highly advanced magic users or extremely reckless.
I think
Could
Joel's
you-
implying I'm not advanced or reckless.
Or that
Could-
you shouldn't be.
Could you perhaps describe some of what you've seen or what you have felt, if anything?
Can you send pictures?
No, it's a book.
Okay.
Just saying, it's not like binoculars. Or
Can't you just write into the book and it like goes to him?
No, it's not how magic works. So, I describe the scene. I describe the immense feeling of sadness that we felt before touching the door. I describe the 6-inch diameter missing item. I describe the situation of this household.
Leave. Now.
Why?
Now.
Hey, what's in here?
Leave, I will explain later, but leave now.
Okay.
Well, we keep getting that warning from
Let's
Dole.
leave.
Hold on, I have to use the bathroom real quick.
All right, use the downstairs one. It's cleaner.
Alright.
Okay.
Don't use the bathroom just to get out of there.
Fine, we all leave.
So, have you heard of this Droven?
I don't know who that is, but there's only one type of magic that can evoke what you felt and conforms to that style of script. Leave. I will tell you more when you're safe.
How far away do we might have to go?
As far away as you can get.
Well,
We can go pretty far. We can go all the way back to our house.
Yeah, let's do that.
Yeah.
Well, we have to leave and then.
All right. I'll let you know when we get back. We have to go sneakily.
We have to leave now.
Good. Hurry.
Okay.
Well, that was unexpected.
We'll contact you when we get to Nine's house.
The Dole is not even responding at this point.
I closed the book.
Do we hear did he leave the book open? Is it like, do we hear things shuffling, or he's just?
No, the connection has been severed.
Okay. Let's sneak.
Naturally, or?
Let's sneak back to Nine's house and try and not be followed, but in case there's Tashir'anun lurking.
Yeah, we're still in costume.
Yeah, and I will pass without a trace to help us hide. Sneak.
Everyone roll, please.
What are we rolling?
Stealth check.
Oh, well,
Oh, roguey one.
I can do that.
We've been playing for quite a long time, and I'm truly amazed that somehow you managed to multi-class, and I didn't even pick up on it.
39.
Man, I only got a 34.
12. I rolled a nat 1.
Oh my god.
What? I had a 5% chance.
I pick up Zoria and
You're having
carry
a bad night tonight. You've had some
carry
fairly
Zoria.
poor rolls.
In my
I rolled a nat 20 earlier.
That's true. You did. On average, you guys make it back while avoiding any detection. And
People
that's
aren't
good
act-
enough.
I don't think people
Zoria
are
had to
actually looking.
trip. You know how you when you're running away in a horror film, and everybody's running, but there's always one person who trips on an invisible thing.
And now I have
falls
blood running down my face.
and
from
somebody
a-
has to pick them up and put them over their shoulder and carry them, and then their clothes snag on a branch while they're being carried, and
Yeah.
that's what
Yeah.
happened to you.
Yeah. A perfect analogy for this time of year, which is Halloween.
Halloween 2 in January.
Halloween 2, Electric Booga January.
Boogaloo.
No, stop. You don't get to say that.
So we get back, and we're tired, we're scared, we're tired, and hungry.
You can be scared. The only person who told us to be afraid is Dole.
Yeah. Alright, Dole, we're at Nine's house. Are you there?
Dole walks through the front door.
Dole.
Just walks in.
Great, now my mom's gonna make food again.
Dole. Is this book
Nice.
on?
Who is this?
This is Dole, the one that does all the banana stuff.
The banana stuff? What are you talking about with the banana stuff?
The banana shop.
Who do you look very nice? I'm Dole. Why he talk like this?
He just does it that way.
It's his personal affect.
My
Unless you make questions, he'll bust out the cards again.
Yeah, use the use the in-law card.
Does he like to play cards? I've been
No,
looking
not
for a
that
new
kind of
opponent.
cards. He
I'll play
doesn't.
cards with you.
What other kind of cards are there?
They're like communication cards.
Are we talking about trading cards down there again? You know I've got quite a collection now, Nines.
No one cares about your Garfield cards.
I'm just gonna grab Dole by the hand and pull him out of this situation, which he's very uncomfortable in. I assume.
Extremely uncomfortable. Are you hungry, Mr. Banana?
Yeah, why don't you send up some food to the guest rooms?
I'll start cooking.
Thank you.
Does the family follow?
I stopped. You, who are Nine's family,
Yes, I am part of Nine's family.
please leave Mr. Dole alone.
Yeah, nice.
Why I'm part of
You
this
too.
group? Shh. I was part of this adventure. I should know what he says.
We'll tell you later.
Why am I being excluded from this? Me, I am brother. Allow me to come and bask in interesting things.
No, you're not invited. It's only for midnight brunch only.
Well, yeah, where's Artemore?
That's a great question.
Uh-oh.
He's still on the ship?
Somehow we left him in that house. Like he flushes the toilet and comes out.
Back at the house, the door opens, the toilet flushing.
I've been in Nine's house all
Artemore is just like, guys.
I've been helping in the kitchen.
I like that you do the puppet hand without the.
I love puppeting.
We need more than one Artemore. That would really mess with our skits.
We'll just order 3 more.
We'll do a whole campaign like that.
If you're wondering why this is so funny to us, well, that is a good question.
Check out our Patreon
But
at
you can-
patreon.com/Dyson Dungeons.
You can learn more there.
I've been helping in the kitchen.
That's really nice, but we're gonna listen to Dole now, I think.
Yeah, I'm listening.
Okay. Hi, Dole. Your hand's really sweaty.
What was that?
That's
All
Max's
of that.
family.
What's wrong with my family? Isn't your family like that?
No.
Why not? Every family is like that.
My family's not like that.
You had so much more family than me.
Well, my
My
clan.
family doesn't exactly mirror your family.
There's a spell for that.
Yeah, but there is a spell for
I
that.
have 2 younger sisters,
What are their names?
Sarah and Jane.
Dole, Sarah, and Jane.
Yes.
What about brothers? You have any brothers?
No.
What's Dole's last name?
I've never gotten into that on show.
I think it's Dole Banana, according to Nice's mom.
Mostly because I've never given him a last
What's
name.
your last name, Dole?
I'll inform you of that later off screen or something, I'm sure.
Oh, yeah, one more.
It'd be funny if it's Helwin's last name.
Yeah.
Kailoon?
Yes. Yes, Helwin Keeloon. Are you all okay?
Yeah.
Yeah, we ran away.
Oh, here. I stole this picture from that house.
Put it in this box.
Okay.
Is it like the box that we have all the radiation?
He
stuff?
closes the box. He moves his hands over it in a very ritualistic pattern. Asoria, you recognize a magical seal being placed over the box. He finishes his brief incantation and sets the box aside. Were you following someone into that house?
Yeah, the Tashir'anun.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's like 4 of them.
Did
Only
you
3
see
went
them
in.
leave?
Oh, no.
No.
Do
They
you
weren't
have
there,
any
though.
reason to believe that they left that house?
Actually, did we see footprint? We were looking at the footprints. Did they leave? Did we see ones
At
facing
front
the door?
exiting any of the front or back door?
We would have been paying attention to that.
Why didn't you make? Because you asked about many things, but you didn't ask.
No, we didn't.
Well, we asked where they were going,
memory
and
check.
going out's a direction.
I want you all to make an intelligence check.
You know I'm bad at those.
I realize that, but that is not helping your justification of my character would have taken note of that.
Just because he was more focused about getting peaches in the kitchen.
Yeah, I do remember what all three of you were thinking. Upon the first seconds of entering, Ulseth wanted to sit on the couch.
Chair.
Then Nines wanted to find 2 peaches. Then you spent time using the bathroom. I'm not giving any of you
We're like
credit for, did I see the footsteps going the other way?
to be fair, Batman does the same things when he's checking out a scene.
No,
and he's
he
one of the
doesn't.
greatest detectives.
He absolutely doesn't.
Every Batman comic has him look for 2 peaches. I rolled it. Are we telling us what is the intelligence?
I would very much like to know the results of your intelligence checks.
23.
Okay.
16.
Okay.
5.
Good. You're a helpful
On brand.
intelligencer.
On brand.
Surprisingly high. Expected.
Okay.
What about Hillwyn? Who is supposed to be good at tracking things?
Maybe Holden was paying attention.
They were doing something. I know they were in the
Hillwyn-
bathroom in a long time.
Holwyn rolled an 18. So you, Soria, you are the only one that rolled high enough to get this. You think you saw footsteps going the other way, but you can't be sure if they left the door or not. You think you did, but you can't be certain if those fully left from the door.
The door to the room or the door to the house?
The house.
The house.
I will relay as much to Dole.
I don't think I can keep this under wraps for you. What you encountered, and I can try to make sure that the record is clear that this was not brought about by the 4 of you. What you encountered, it's temporal magic. Do you know what that means?
I rolled a 5.
Time magic.
Yes, Soria. Time magic.
Like we saw in Risto.
So somebody went either forward or backward in time, or something like that.
Time magic is, by its very nature, incredibly dangerous. Imagine what could happen if you could go back and make anybody not exist. Removing your parents before you are born means that you would never have a chance to exist and affect the world in the ways that you do. And the only way to undo such devastating effects would be to undo the magic of the person who used the temporal abilities to affect your life.
So
Jovan was trying to get Liliana back.
with time magic.
Yeah.
It's better than necromancy.
Yeah.
Is it?
Icky. It's less icky.
Is
Tim-
it?
Temporal magic is, without a doubt, the most dangerous type of magic. There's a reason that no one in Ilsirin is allowed to use it. And there's not many rules that govern our nation.
How would a Tabaxi teen under the influence of mind-altering substances get hold of time magic?
I think the mind-altering substance would probably help get time magic.
there are any number of prodigies that have existed throughout millennia, gifted in all forms of magic. Any given tabaxi is not any exception to that rule.
Or any changeling.
Why not have a child who is preternaturally disposed to the abilities of magical alterations? I don't know who this is. Do you have any idea who might have cast that, and if they're still around, or if this is some lingering scar?
They're a member of the Tashir'anun. Possibly a high up member.
We think.
It is a tabaxi.
They hang out with the Forge, so they might be on one of the. So wait, there's the. What are the 3 roles in your cult, also? The Forge.
The forge and
the heart.
And the sword.
The sword.
Sword.
The hand.
The blade.
The blade.
Mm-hmm.
Something like that.
Yeah.
Maybe it's one of them.
No, because using this temporal magic, like, screw off your hair color?
Possibly.
So could it possibly have to do with an object? There was an object about this big around that is missing.
Who knows? Temporal magic is unpredictable and potent beyond all rationale. This is a type of magic that essentially rips the fabric of our universe asunder and begins to rewrite it however the caster feels fit.
I'm very curious about this. I'm going to pull out one of those teacups we got from the time displaced shop in on Risto, and detect magic on that. Does it feel similar?
No. It's just a teacup.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I mean, think of it this way. You can, like, expose something to radiation, and
It might not
it
be
doesn't
radiation.
make it radioactive. At least,
here
not
you go,
necessarily.
doll.
Like,
Here's a-
long-term radiation
Here's the
exposure
teacup
can.
doll.
What's with the teacup?
It's from on Risto. I was just checking. It's from us. We met a time displaced shop.
Well, that can happen. People can create bubbles that shield them from the passage of time. And it's one of the few relatively safe forms of temporal magics.
But not what happened in this house.
In fact, it's one of the few spells that Ilsirin won't prosecute you for. And that's standardized.
Are we in legal trouble?
No, this is more akin to you discovering a dead body. There's going to be questions,
But we did poke it with a stick a little.
you're not necessarily here the guilty party.
Wait, usually when we find a dead body, we're the ones asking questions, though.
Yeah, usually. But you are adult. Why did you lock up the picture? It is just a picture. It was not even in the room where the magics apparently were.
Careless casting with temporal magics can leave its imprints everywhere. When you described those emotions, the scars of that person's memories linger in that magic. It's tied to that time. It can leak out and can cause horrifying fissures. Imagine a magic so potent that it could make you forget whether you're 12, 22, or 75.
I'm gonna be honest. I had to remember my age for something, and it took me a minute to remember how old I was.
Isn't that funny how that kind of happens?
Yeah.
Like, the older you get and the fewer, like, landmarks. Because when you're young, every year is marked by like a different grade. And then, you know, you might graduate from high school and then you're like, oh, I turned 18. So you can do things like vote. You can buy cigarettes, buy a lottery ticket. Then you get 21.
Hey, you can turn
And,
19
you know-
and then go to Canada and gamble.
Yeah, there
So,
you go. So, you know, there's stuff like that. And the further you get away, the harder it is to remember.
I was looking through all my notes, and I think there was an old elf. Lon Ferron was obviously the Forge.
Mm-hmm.
There was an old elf who we also saw give a speech as the Heart.
Yes.
And he was standing there next to the Tabaxi in the next to Drovan, I suppose, which implies to me that maybe Drovan here is the third role, whatever it was.
The blade.
Was that it? Do we remember what the third role was called?
Yeah, it's called the blade. And the blade, I found my clear description of the blade as revealed to us in one of.
We're looking through our notes, doll.
Understood. It's something I do
The
frequently.
blade is the most controlling, unflinching, violent of the three, who stays in the Tashir'anun headquarters and has been the blade for hundreds of years.
That was in a description from when? From Sonara?
Mm-hmm.
So, the trainers, the Heart's the trainer.
Mm-hmm. And the heart is the one that named the Forge, gave the Forge the job.
The title.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, we'll ask Sonara about this too later. Since she's the one who told us
We
about
haven't
that
really
stuff.
asked much about the tabaxi that was hanging around.
Yeah. So, well, let's get back to this time magic.
Yeah, is there any reason why an object would be needed?
Maybe this
Objects can be focal points. Much like scrying magic, you can have more success if you have something of theirs, right?
Yeah.
Temporal magic, it can rely on focal points so that you can find an anchor to the time that you want. The more specific, the easier it is to move to that time. If you wanted to go through someone's life and teleport back to an earlier point, if you had that person there, it becomes easier to move. If you wanted to go back to the moment where you got your favorite teddy bear, if you had the teddy bear still, or even a picture of it,
So
it would be easier to focus on that point and move back to that time.
the object was probably something of Juliana's,
Probably.
but we don't know what it would be.
It was round.
Yeah.
Maybe a lava lamp.
Maybe an urn.
Oh, yeah. Or like a jar of parts. Oh.
I wonder if we could find out a little more history of this family.
Maybe, yeah, we have a name now.
Mm-hmm.
There's probably at least some.
We have a name and a place.
Yeah.
So the mystery would be to confirm that this is actually Drovan. We suspect is hanging out with the Tashir'anun.
Yeah.
There is good reason to believe that.
Just for
Well,
That Drovan was trying to get Juliana back, and that was probably something of
Why
hers.
don't I
Or it
walk
could
up?
have been her.
Why don't I walk up to some Tashir'anun looking like him and just see what they call me?
What if he has not come on this trip?
I think if he's able to do time magic, he can teleport. Right, Dol? You teleported. You can't even do time magic.
Can you do time magic?
I'm aware of the principles, although I have never attempted practicing it. Remember, it is forbidden in the Alciran. It is the one type of magic we have strict laws against any research in.
Well, I mean, if you wanted to take that chance, you could just like simply walk by and look in their direction.
Yeah,
And
I mean,
see if-
you guys can
See if
stand by
they
and be ready
showed
to
any
defend me.
any sign. Maybe they would show a sign of recognition.
Deference.
Deference would be good. Yeah.
Maybe we should find a safer way of doing it.
Like what? Like use an illusion spell? None of us can do major image.
Good point. Wait, I can do major image.
Oh, whoa!
That is something that you could do then. Just
Or
to
if
see
something horrible happened,
Or
we could find out if there was a news report about it.
would it, Dole, if someone can do time magic, would it be fine for me to invade their dreams with spells?
I wouldn't.
Oh. Even
As
if I
you-
made myself look like his dead sister?
Don't do
I
that.
definitely wouldn't do that. As you're talking,
Yeah.
you hear a bit of a commotion from downstairs. Nothing calamitous. And you hear the voices of the divorcees and Sola
Sola-san!
coming in the door.
Dole, have you met Sola?
I don't believe that I have, no.
We could call him Doloff.
And on
Can't
that
ship
point,
them together.
we're going to end.
No.
So,
Soli!
thank you all for joining us. I hope you enjoyed this session and the mysteries and dangers that it's revealed. I hope you all enjoyed this session as well.
Well, it
A little
was
creepy.
It was
it
creepy.
was creepy and very
It was
unexpected.
very good Halloween too.
It was very very good. Very good.
If this were releasing around
introducing-
Halloween, boy, it would have been great timing. But I don't control all the story hits.
I don't control the
And
schedule. Yeah.
I don't control the schedule and when the story is hit and everything like that. But good storytelling has got to continue regardless of.
It's great for Halloween too.
It's great for Halloween too. Yeah.
Happy Halloween too.
So, again, thanks everyone for joining us.
Thank you.
Stay safe. We love
Frozen
you.
on the screen.
Bye bye.
Yeah.